We measure national security in the superior performance of modern weapons in the hands of highly trained soldiers of unsurpassed morale. Yet there is another factor of equal importance we must consider in measuring our national security. That is the maintenance of secrecy of military operations. Modern military tactics demand the rapid and coordinated employment of armed forces. The teamwork between the branches of armed forces is controlled by communication systems. And, as in football, the team which keeps its signal secret has a good chance of winning the game. The Army has designed its cryptographic systems to maintain secrecy in the transmission of military information as it flows through our network of communications.
Rush these priority messages by radio.
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Lieutenant Miller, sir. Reporting with the message center officers of the Interceptor Command for cryptographic instruction.
I've been expecting you. Sit down, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Know anything about cryptography?
No, sir. It's a new experience for me, sir.
Well, I know it has something to do with codes and ciphers, but that's about all, sir.
Well, cryptography is the science which treats of the various means, methods, and devices for converting plain text messages into cryptograms, and reconverting the so-produced cryptograms into their plain text form by a direct reversal of the steps or processes employed in the original conversion. Our cryptographic work is actually done in there. That is, outgoing plain language messages are converted into cryptographic form, and incoming cryptograms are reconverted into their original plain language form. Cryptographic materials include all documents and devices we use in cryptography. We keep everything locked in those safes. Remember, all cryptographic work is done in this room, and no cryptographic materials are removed from it. Of course, we're well established here, but an officer in the field must take all the precautions possible with the facilities available. We must assume that every message we send out by radio, teletype, carrier pigeon, or personal messenger may be intercepted by a potential enemy. We should also assume that every nation in the world is on the alert 24 hours a day to intercept messages transmitted by foreign powers. These messages are therefore protected from compromise by certain cryptographic security measures.
Just what do you mean, sir, by cryptographic security?
By cryptographic security, I mean the measures that must be taken to prevent the compromise of any of our cryptographic systems. The physical safeguarding of codes and ciphers is only one phase of cryptographic security. The intelligent and proper employment of the cryptographic systems is equally important. Every officer must know the Army regulations on safeguarding military information and should know as much about cryptographic security as we do. These security measures must be followed to the letter by everyone.
Why is that, Major?
You know the old saying, a chain is only as strong as its weakest link. If one person makes a mistake in handling a message, he may be the link that breaks the chain of our cryptographic security measures, safeguarding the military information of our entire Army.
I know there are many obvious mistakes an officer can make, sir. But how could just one single slip-up compromise the cryptographic system of the entire Army?
If any person involved in the chain of our cryptographic security system should make a mistake in any step, from the drafting of a message to its receipt, it would afford the enemy an opportunity to break down our codes and ciphers. If the slightest clue to our cryptographic system is obtained by an enemy, it could reduce the time needed to break down our code from years to a matter of hours. The enemy is quick to take advantage of our mistakes. Our only chance to maintain our cryptographic security is the exact observance of the basic rules of our cryptographic system by every person in the Army. As you know, messages, like documents, cryptographic devices, development projects, and articles of materiel, are classified as secret, confidential, or restricted. Messages are classified as secret when disclosure of the information contained therein might endanger national security, cause serious injury to the interests of the nation, or be of great advantage to a foreign nation. Messages will be classified as confidential when disclosure of the information contained therein, although not endangering the national security, might be prejudicial to the interest of the United States, a governmental activity, or an individual, or be of advantage to a foreign nation. Messages will be classified as restricted when information contained therein is for official use only, or when its disclosure should be limited for reasons of administrative privacy or deny the general public. When any of these messages is to be transmitted by a means of communication that may be intercepted, it must be cryptographed. Messages that contain no classified information should be sent in the clear. It is the duty of the cryptographic officer First, to check and double-check himself in the selection of the specific cryptographic system to be used in cryptographing a message. Then, secondly, he must check and double-check himself to make sure he has made no errors in the actual cryptographing of the message.
One point puzzles me, sir. Am I right in saying that each message classified as secret, confidential, or restricted is cryptographed respectively in a secret, confidential, or restricted system?
Yes, that is correct. Should we, through error, transmit a message in a confidential code, and the message contains information we had transmitted previously in secret code, the enemy might intercept the message, break down our confidential cryptographic system, and, by comparison, break down the secret system.
Well, sir, there seems to be a lot for us to remember.
It's your duty to remember. This information I'm giving you, gentlemen, is only a general introduction to cryptographic security. Your responsibility and that of every other officer is to be thoroughly familiar with the proper safeguarding of military information.